Watch this play. This is what frustrated Brunson. Oh, whoa. That's, excuse me, that should be a flagrant one. I can understand why Brunson, and then Wemby's laughing at it. And Brunson's got to be smart. He can't retaliate.
Welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you with us today because, honestly, we are looking at one of the most incredible underdog stories in modern sports history. And the best part? It's tied to one of the most massive, highly scrutinized franchise legacies in the entire world. We're breaking down the official biography of Jalen Brunson. This is the story of how a guy constantly doubted for his size fell all the way to the second round of the NBA draft, only to forge an undeniable legacy, put an entire legendary city on his back, and literally become the undisputed king of New York. Okay, let's dive right into this.
27 years. Just let that number sink in for a second. That is the agonizing championship drought the New York Knicks endured between their 1999 NBA Finals appearance and their eventual return to the grandest stage in 2026 against the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, for nearly 3 decades, Knicks fans experienced almost nothing but dysfunction and sheer frustration. They made the playoffs only 5 times from 2001 to 2022. It was like this endless, brutal winter for a storied franchise that was absolutely desperate for a savior.
Section 1. The 1999 to 2026 connection.
Now, the poetry of this story is that the symmetry between these two totally distinct eras of Knicks basketball is actually bridged by one specific family name. Back in 1999, the last time the Knicks made it to the finals before 2026, their roster featured a reserve guard named Rick Brunson. He was averaging just about 1 point per game in 17 minutes off the bench during that run. Fast forward to 2026, and his son Jalen Brunson isn't just on the team, he is the undisputed franchise superstar. We're talking over 26 points per game, leading the team as the alpha, and bringing the Knicks back to the absolute pinnacle of the sport. The generational contrast here is simply stunning.
And to truly grasp Jalen's impact, you just have to look at his performance in Game 1 of those 2026 NBA Finals, going up against Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. In that game, the Knicks were staring down a really tough 14-point third-quarter deficit, but Jalen Brunson just completely seized control. He dropped 30 points, with 13 of those coming in the absolutely crucial fourth quarter. And what's wild, what makes this legendary, is he did all of this after suffering a right knee injury in the first quarter and a left ankle injury in the second. He literally pushed through the pain to secure a 105-95 comeback win.
Section 2. Building a Villanova Dynasty.
So how exactly does a player develop this kind of relentless clutch mentality? Well, it was forged at the collegiate level. At Villanova University, Jalen was the absolute heart and soul of the program. As a freshman in 2016, he helped lead the Wildcats to an NCAA national championship. But in 2018, he took things to a whole other stratosphere. He led them to a second national championship, and the individual hardware just poured in. He was the consensus National Player of the Year and took home the Bob Cousy Award as the nation's top point guard. He was already proving his elite ability to lead a championship team.
But you know what truly stands out about this era? It's the culture that they built during that incredible run. This wasn't just a team, it was a brotherhood. The Villanova Brotherhood. Playing alongside guys like Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, and Dante DiVincenzo, Brunson developed a bond based on total trust, incredibly smart decision-making, and just a relentless work ethic. This college dynasty literally built a foundation of players who would miraculously find themselves reuniting on the professional stage years down the line.
Section 3. The second-round draft steal.
Now, with a college resume like that, you'd think he'd be a lottery pick, right? Maybe even top 5? Instead, despite every possible college accolade you could ask for, Jalen absolutely plummeted down the draft boards. He fell all the way to the 33rd overall pick, the second round. That's where he was finally selected by the Dallas Mavericks in the 2018 NBA draft.
You're probably wondering, why did he fall so far? Well, this quote right here perfectly captures the skepticism scouts had at the time. Critics claimed Brunson's small stature would limit him. That's it. Scouts doubted the 6'2" guard. They seriously questioned his athleticism and his physical frame, totally ignoring the massive heart and the unparalleled basketball IQ that actually drove him. And let me tell you, this blatant disregard became the ultimate fuel for his entire professional career.
Section 4. Emerging from the shadows.
During his early years with the Dallas Mavericks, Jalen quietly and super diligently developed his craft. In his 2018-2019 rookie season, playing a supporting role behind superstar Luka Doncic, he was averaging a solid 9.3 points per game, but he just kept steadily improving year over year. By the 2021-2022 season, his scoring had jumped to 16.3 points per game. And his true breakout moment? That came in the 2022 playoffs. With Doncic out, Brunson just erupted for a massive 41-point game against Utah, helping the Mavericks reach the Western Conference Finals. He proved, definitively, that he was ready for a much, much larger role.
Section 5. The King of New York.
And a larger role was absolutely waiting for him on the East Coast. But a pretty crucial piece of the puzzle had to fall into place first. Before Jalen signed his massive 4-year, $104 million contract with New York in free agency, an amazing family reunion took place. His father, Rick Brunson, was hired as an assistant coach by Knicks head coach Tom Thibodeau, who, by the way, Rick had known and worked with for years. This move fully and officially intertwined the Brunson family's legacy with the city of New York.
The very moment Jalen was handed the keys to the Knicks offense, he made an explosive scoring leap. It's like a rocket ship, going from 9.3 points in his Dallas rookie year to 16.3 in his final Dallas year. His production just skyrocketed to an incredible 28.7 points per game during his 2023-2024 MVP-caliber season in New York. He became the undisputed go-to closer, setting franchise records for 40-point playoff games and permanently silencing every single critic who ever dared to doubt his size.
Which brings us right to that legendary 2026 Finals run, and the ultimate win-now roster built entirely around Jalen. Under new head coach Mike Brown, the Knicks had assembled an absolute powerhouse of a team. You've got Jalen at the point, the blockbuster trade addition of all-star Karl Anthony Towns holding down the center, the elite defense of OG Anunoby, and, get this, the incredible reunion of Jalen's Villanova teammates Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart. This was a team built on pure chemistry, toughness, and absolute trust. And we have to talk about how historic their dominance really was. 11. Leading it to those 2026 NBA Finals, the Knicks rode an 11-game postseason winning streak. That was the third longest in NBA history. They were just crushing opponents, boasting a record playoff victory margin of over 19 points per game. They literally peaked at the exact right moment.
So after taking all of this in, we are left with a pretty provocative thought. Can an undersized second-round pick really achieve the ultimate goal that has completely eluded the Knicks for over a half-century? Jalen Brunson has already shown us that a unique blend of family legacy, relentless grit, and a tight-knit college brotherhood is a surefire blueprint for greatness. But the question remains, is it the ultimate blueprint for an NBA championship? It's an incredibly compelling story of resilience that just makes you want to watch his every single move. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.